Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I call this meeting of the Fraser Planning Commission for February 4th of 2026 to order at 7:01. We all please turn off or put on silent any cell phones and stand and join me in starting our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so now we'll begin with roll call. Mr. Clerk, if you'll please do that.
Commissioner Barr is absent. Commissioner Zarnecki.
Present.
Commissioner Farina.
Present.
Commissioner Kyle.
Present.
Commissioner Meyer.
Present.
Commissioner Tuller.
Here.
Chairman Warnick.
Here.
That is a quorum, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, now we need approval of the agenda. Is there any discussion or comments on it? Commissioner Meyer.
The address for SP 2601 should read 34860 Utica instead of 34960.
Was it just on the agenda, or is it in the plans anywhere else?
I thought the plans were...
Only in the monthly report, which is.
Yes.
Oh,
Right.
so that's nothing. Okay. Okay, so we're 34860 Utica on that.
Right.
Got it. Anybody else? Anything else? Not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda as amended.
I'd like to make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Tuller and support by Commissioner Farina. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so item number 4, we'll start with my opening remarks. Okay, tonight's meeting will follow the agenda that was posted online and has been printed for you here. Before we begin, it's important to let everyone know that the Planning Commission is created by state law. The commission is comprised of 7 members, all of whom have volunteered to serve. Members are appointed by the mayor and confirmed by City Council. The role of the Planning Commission is to plan and promote the efficient, coordinated development of the city for the health, safety, and general welfare of its residents. We are not here to negotiate with applicants or allow everything an applicant is requesting. However, the Planning Commission does have the power to approve certain requests and recommend others, depending on the nature of the request and whether all the standards in the zoning ordinance have been met. Planning Commission may also impose conditions on a proposed project in order to ensure that those standards are met. Other individuals with us here tonight are representatives from our legal firm of O'Reilly Rancilio PC, Alyssa Erickson. Our city planner representing from McKenna and Associates, Lawrence Sayre, and Fraser City Clerk, August Gishley. Okay. So since we have a public hearing, the procedure followed by the Planning Commission for public hearings first involves the city planner providing an overview of each case. After the overview is completed, the applicant will be asked to provide additional information and answer any questions the Planning Commission members may have. After the Planning Commission's questions, the public will be invited to speak. Each person will have one opportunity to speak, must only speak directly to that specific case, and must only address the Planning Commission, not the applicant or anyone else in attendance. If you have questions, please direct them to the Planning Commission, and we may ask for answers for your questions if they're relevant to the factors the Planning Commission is required to consider. After the public has had an opportunity to speak, Planning Commission members may again ask questions of the applicant, and then the Commission will consider a motion. That all said and done, we will go to item 5, approval of the minutes of our last meeting, January 7th, 2026. Are there any discussion or comments or corrections?
Sir, it's at the board's, this is the first agenda that was done in the new Civic Plus format. Do you want to switch these two, 4 and 5, in the future? to do the minutes before you do the comments. This is kind of how
I
it
think it
defaulted,
makes sense.
and I can switch it if you want me to. I just kind of look a little awkward to me.
We get so used to that, but it's always been, and I always wondered why, but
Yeah, I mean, we can do it any way you like for the future
I just have
template.
one comment. I think it's in our bylaws, so maybe we should change our bylaws to that standard also.
For the order?
The order of the agenda.
Really? The order? Okay.
I'm a little more involved, I guess, but
All right.
it shouldn't be, but we still, it shouldn't be that.
I mean, it's 6 of one, half dozen of
Do
the
it
other.
once
It's
and
your
it's
preference.
done.
Yeah,
So.
we'll look into it then.
That makes sense. Okay, anybody now note that we have
Yep.
Commissioner Barr
7:04.
in attendance. Any other corrections or anything? Anybody see in the minutes?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'll move to approve the draft minutes of January 7, 2026 as submitted.
Okay, do we have support? Okay,
Mr. Chair, I did have one note, I apologize. I didn't get it in before you mentioned that. For item 6, I don't believe that Mr. Tuller's motion was to recommend approval of the site plan. I believe it was to approve the site plan.
So
Very true.
okay,
It wouldn't be a recommendation.
okay.
I can make that, I'll make
Make
that
that
change. Yeah,
correction
that's
then.
an easy correction.
Okay, so will you? for
I
your-
will move to approve the January 7, 2026 minutes with that revision.
With the revision. And support still? Yes. Support by Commissioner Farina. Let's see. I can't remember, do we have to do a roll call on this, or we can do? Okay, so all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. So that passes, and we can move on to new business. So we start with the first public hearing, SLU 26-01, 31331 Groesbeck Highway, Midway Eats, for a 24-hour operation. Is the applicant, you can come forward over here. And might as well, while you're sitting, get your name and address. Please, and now, individual, whatever, I mean, pretty lax with that, I think, sometimes. But speak right into that, though. The problem is, it's all recorded, and the only way is everybody speaks into the microphone, so.
Rosie Bereshai, and you want the home address? Or the business address?
Business.
Business,
31331 Groesbeck.
okay? And
Leon Bershai, 31331 Groesbeck.
Can you spell your last name for me?
B as in boy, ERISHAJ.
Thank you.
okay, thanks. Ms. Sarah, if you'll give us background on this?
All right. Thank you, Chair Warnock. So this is location at 31331 Groesbeck. It's located in between Groesbeck and Utica. It's the site that I'm sure everyone's familiar with, used to be Rally's. And so the applicant has moved in, Midway Eats. So typically fast food restaurants are a special land use in this district, since it's a continuation of a previously approved one. They're not here to seek special land use approval for the fast food restaurant or the drive-throughs. They're here to seek a special land use to operate 24 hours a day. So they also want to note that their site plan, it is the original site plan from Rally's, but looking at the site plan, it is, to us, it seems the same. So we did not require them to do a whole new plan set, since the site plan still reflects the conditions of the site. So if Planning Commission does approve the special land use, should be noted that is with the previous, fast food special land use also approved, and that site plan carrying that forward. But in reviewing the standards and, special land use standards about if it will impact, traffic or the harmony of the area, any of those things, we didn't find that any of what they're proposing would negatively impact. There are also, other 24-hour businesses nearby. Groesbeck's a fairly commercial corridor. We think it would serve that corridor well. And provided that we don't believe there'll be any adverse impacts, we do recommend approving the special land use request for a 24-hour operation.
Okay, any questions for the planner from the board?
Very straightforward.
Seeing none. Anything the petitioner wishes to add?
Just glad to be here and serve.
Pretty easy. Okay, we'll come back to the board again. Any questions for the petitioner? Commissioner Zarnecki.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm a little confused if you do have any indoor seating,
No indoor seating, just carry out only.
just carry out only. Yes, I believe in one of the comments that we received, it does, that's what confused me. So I just wanted to clarify, so no indoor.
No indoor seating.
Okay,
At all.
thank you. And can you tell me, what are your hours you're operating now?
It's 6 a.m. to midnight
Every day of the week?
every day.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I just, so basically, I guess the only thing that would be different is the lighting, maybe outside during, because it's 24-hour operation. Was the lighting always on, always before?
Since we took over, it's been on. They've been on. They're on an automatic light. Where it gets dark, they turn on. When it gets lighted, they turn off. So
Is a
stay on.
sign, is there, I haven't seen a sign, or do you have a sign yet over there?
Yeah, there's a
I
sign.
can't remember if it's, but does it flash or anything, or is it disrupt any traffic?
No.
So it's no, you can't ask for a better area right down Groesbeck and Utica. So you got both, and they're both faster speed limits, so
Yes.
as long as it doesn't impact anything there. Anybody else?
The food's really good, too. Had to check it out.
Thank you.
Okay, this would be in a public hearing. Is there anybody in the audience that has anything or is here for this? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board again. Any further questions for them? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain if anybody's got a motion.
I'll make that motion to approve it to 24 hours.
Any support?
I'll support.
Okay. Commissioner Tuller moved and supported by Commissioner Kyle. Take a roll call vote on that.
Commissioner Barr,
Yes.
Commissioner Zarnecki,
Yes,
Commissioner Farina,
Yes.
Commissioner Kyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Meyer,
Yes.
Commissioner Tuller,
Yes.
Chairman Warnick.
Yes. That
There you
passes, so congratulations. That was pain-free.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Stop by sometime.
goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
I'll stop by after midnight sometime at this point.
Won't be probably till March.
Good. Thanks.
Thank you, same to you.
Okay. So move on to original site plan 24-07 for 33420 Utica Road for a site plan extension. You want to come forward? No, you know the rules. You've been here before, so just give us your name and,
Good evening, and thank you for having me today. My name is Osama Razouk, 33420 Utica Road.
do we need a spelling for that?
Got it.
Okay. Got that then. So, Lauren, you can give us background on this?
Sure. So, as I believe this commission remembers, about a year ago, on March 5th, 2025, the site plan for the 7 duplexes, so 14 units total, was approved by Planning Commission. And per our ordinance, site plans are valid for 1 year after the date of approval. And if physical improvement of the site's not in actual progress by the end of the year, then it would expire unless Planning Commission extends that. And so our ordinance doesn't lay out anything further for any, conditions or period of extension, so it's kind of at the Planning Commission's discretion. We did sort of organize kind of some of our thoughts in planning and what we think would be pertinent to kind of look at when considering extending a site plan. First, have the conditions of adjacent properties changed? Is there anything different? And with regard to this property, everything is still the same. It's still the, Fraser Villa to the south, also more condominiums to the north, and that single family in the rear, and then, of course, Utica on the front. We also kind of looked at if there's any enforcement. They've been maintaining the property. We have no enforcement since this owner's had the property, which I think, just again shows kind of good faith in maintaining the property. Another kind of good faith effort is that after that site plan approval, the applicant did follow up fairly quickly, and by March 19th, we had a final site plan approval. So all the conditions that Planning Commission imposed at the March 5th meeting, they did meet. And the applicant also provided a letter on why this hasn't been acted upon yet, and the primary reason due to market volatility, increase in construction prices. And so, the applicant's requesting a 2-year extension, so little longer than the original site plan, approval period. I do think that, given kind of the market and how it's still trending, that this is not unreasonable. But if, Planning Commission is uncomfortable with 2 years, they could build in development milestones that they have to meet. Again, that's just an option. But we do recommend extending the site plan for his requested 2 years.
Okay, before we go any further, I forgot to close that public hearing,
I wrote a time down when you stopped.
so we're all set with that?
I
Sorry.
stamped it at 7:13 as soon as you went on to the next.
Okay, good. Any questions for Lauren? On the board? Frank?
Okay. Lauren, I don't know with you or Alyssa, since our ordinance only allows 1 year, how can we extend 2 years? Is that allowable?
I had the same question with Mr. Denault, Mr. Farina, because in my mind, that was the same thing. We don't have, as Ms. Sayre mentioned, we don't have any specific standards in the ordinance saying you can only extend it for X or Y or Z. The applicant is obviously coming to you to seek an extension before that year is up, which is permissible. And so, yes, the 2-year request, so to speak, would be permissible if the commission finds that there is a reason for it.
Is this setting precedent then, or?
No, because each case is case by case. Any case for a site plan, a SALU, anything like that that comes before the commission is case by case. So no, it's not necessarily setting precedent.
Okay.
I'll chime in on that a little. It's, because I've been involved 30 years in the Planning Commission, so we've always had extensions. There's never been a fee. Now, he wasn't charged a fee for this meeting or anything, right? Okay, so we've always been the 1 year, come back. They could come back on just a short notice, and we would extend that site plan for the following year again then. That's what I was worried about, was setting a precedence. Maybe we should just do, if it's not paying an extra fee, just put it in front of the Planning Commission, whether, even the petitioner doesn't even have to be here. If we put it in front of the board again, at least, just in case there was something minor or somebody knows about something else. I don't know. What's the board think about that?
I'm not sure I understand what you're asking. I'm sorry.
Oh, because when we'd always do it, it'd just come back in a year.
In a year.
No fees, nothing, just come back and we just extend it officially, and it becomes on the records for another year. So that was the way we always did it for all those years. So for the past 30 years, we did it that way. I don't know if this is something like Frank said, is setting a precedent, but I just don't want to start making changes that all of a sudden then it becomes 3 years, or, if we stay consistent with 1 year and just bring it in front of the board and we just all agree, or is this okay with everybody? I can go both ways, but I want to have something that's consistent. And if we're going to do it, we do it for everybody. Go
I
ahead.
like that too.
All right. My suggestion, and it has nothing to do with this particular application, but I think maybe when we're doing the zoning rewrite, maybe we can address that, any type of extension and clear up the language so we know in the future. That's just my suggestion. And I would also, with conversation with the applicant, when we come around to encourage, I would like to see the applicant do some milestone planning in between, if we can arrange something like that, to confirm that he's going to follow through. That's my only comment right now.
Anybody else? Any thoughts on that item?
If we're going to ask him to do milestone planning, that means somebody has to check that milestone planning when it comes in here, which puts a further burden on city resources.
And again, I would be in favor in asking the applicant to make some additional monies into the escrow fee. My thought.
We actually don't collect escrow on
Oh, you don't?
anymore. The city shifted away from escrows generally.
I did not know that. I thought escrows.
Some things might still be collected that I'm not part of, but the planning,
Okay, I'll take that back.
it's only for larger projects like a conditional rezoning presently.
I mean, do we want to do something and then just keep it at 2-year, that it can be 2-year, or anybody? I see you're ready for Alyssa with something, so.
So I just so I'm understanding what your thought process is, are you saying to bring back all site plans to the planning commission before their year is up? Is that what you're suggesting?
Only if they haven't started it.
Okay, so,
To extend it, because it expires in a year.
yeah, so, I mean, devil's advocate to that would be, as Mr. Farina mentioned, kind of with the planning milestones, you also would have to have city oversight as well. It's almost like they would have to check to see where things were at. I think that that's probably asking the city to do a little bit more work, and especially if an applicant perhaps gets their site plan approved and something happens where they're abandoning the project, if they're not the ones asking and while the city all of a sudden is putting them on an agenda, that might be a weird situation where they don't want it extended for another year, right? So I know you mentioned not even having the applicant here or, something like that. I do think that, in my experience, it's better when the applicant is the one that's asking for it rather than just kind of having like a uniform process, I guess, of, oh, it's 11 months, maybe we should bring the applicant to the planning commission. Just devil's advocate.
Well, if they do, though, all of a sudden say, but they want to make this minor change, because then we got to go through something to give.
Minor changes typically no, but if there's something that's significant, yeah, I mean, they do have to come back to the planning commission. But of course, it's case by case, as I mentioned to Mr. Farina too. So it's kind of hard to put a general, I guess, a general requirement.
As long as somebody's watching for all that, and I'm sure there's a relationship between, because this applicant at least has been in contact.
Correct,
And
yes.
not let it go, because I remember times when I had to call and say, hey, this is a year, what's your plan? Oh, I don't know, they didn't know, they had a year only. So I don't know if anybody from the building department follows up on that, or how.
It's my job to follow.
Yeah,
on site.
so as long as I guess there's consistency, I guess, I'm pretty flexible with it. Like I said, we always just allowed them to come in after a year and say their intent is to continue. Can we get an extension?
But at their request, though.
At their request, right.
I would like to give a quick summary, could help, between 1 or 2 years to make a decision about between 1 year or 2 years. So if you allow me, guys, just to go over this, so I hope it help you guys.
Okay.
I work on this project with a civil engineer and 2 architects, and I believe we came up with a good development plan. However, it's really a good investment opportunity, but only the economy has not been encouraging me to start the construction yet. I'm in a construction field. Currently, I'm building a 2,100 square foot house in the city of Warren. We started the project back in May, and the target was to complete it this March. But honestly, up to this very day, we are 6 months out due to difficulties finding the right trades and instability of materials prices. I also have a listed house for sale since August 2025. So I believe the city was approved the best plan ever for this lot since here, and I hope you consider, guys, my concern just extend it 2 years and keep it valid for 2 years. And I'll leave the rest for you guys between 1 year or 2 years.
As long
I
as,
don't hope we're gonna see positive economic signs this year.
I guess the main thing is that you're aware that that's the site plan that got approved, that's the site plan you're gonna stay with.
Right.
So, and if there is changes, that can always be addressed. If you have to come in front of the board again, then if they have to look at things and stuff and prepare things, I'm sure there'll be a fee assessed with it. But this route, I'm all for just a simple extension by the board, as long as nothing's changing.
Randy?
Go ahead.
We went through these extensions with the place on Utica Road, and it turned out to be 5 years. And it turned out that they were not following the site plan. And I'm sure that he will follow the site plan. But I want to think out we're looking at things for a general nature. Is it going to fall through the crack because we don't look at it for 2 years? You know, that tends to bother me, you know, because things do fall through cracks because they're just, you know, not brought up.
Yeah. Then things extend even further and further. That's why
Exactly.
give an inch, take a yard type thing. So, I don't know. What's the consensus?
Guys, I also would like, you to take a look to what I'm building right now in the city of Warren.
Mr. Razuk, you mentioned the price of your products. Are you able to get your supplies in too, but the prices are going up, or both of them?
Up and down,
Okay,
up and down.
okay, thank you.
Commissioner Meyer?
I have a question for you. Why is the property listed for sale?
Not that one. I have another one listed for sale. It's in the market.
No, I mean this property that
Oh,
I've,
that one, because, I said, a builder buyer could have different opinion than mine. I'm investor. So, but a builder buyer could have different opinion and jumped right into the construction.
Thank you. Anything else, Commissioner Sarnecki?
Oh, no, I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, I think that's what throws most people when they see that sign out there, and they start thinking, well, you're selling that with a site plan approval. Well, now the approval's expired, and so that's why you need that extension, if you're going to keep that going.
I would like to do it myself, honestly. Because, I'm in the construction field already, but that's the only thing, because I say that probably, a builder buyer, have different opinion than mine, and he can, start the construction right away. Why we should hold it until I see, better signs from the economy. So
What's
I might
the-
be mistaken. I'm in the construction field. I find, a hard time. I'm struggling with this project now because too hard to find the right trades, the materials prices up and down. Just basic example, the brick for that house, we were short about 3,000, and we ordered the 3,000 bricks, 50% more. So the brick was 40 cents each, and when we got the 3,000, 60 cents. So we told them, we just short. They said, if we start over and send you the other 17,000, you got to pay 60 cents per brick. So nothing is stable.
No, that's-
That's what hold me, of this project, because that's a bigger project. It's a really nice one. It's really good opportunity.
If they've,
But the housing
For-
market is still,
for legal, I want to just make sure if he sold this, we got an approved site plan, does that new owner, how would they have to proceed?
So I don't believe that the site plan is tied to the specific applicant. I think that the site plan approval is tied to the specific proposed development. So if that proposed development were to go in accordance with the site plan,
We're good?
yes.
Good. I just wanted to clarify. Sure.
And the extension would follow through.
I'm sorry, the extension would follow that? Yes, that's correct.
Well, anybody want to make a motion?
I'll move to approve an extension of 1 year, as we've done in the past.
I'll support it.
Okay. So we got a motion by Commissioner Farina for a 1-year extension with support by Commissioner Kyle. Any other conversation on that? Okay, so let's take a roll call on that.
Commissioner Barr. Commissioner Zarnecki.
Yes.
Commissioner Farina.
Yes.
Commissioner Kyle.
Yes.
Commissioner Meyer.
Yes.
Commissioner Tuller.
No.
Chairman Warnick.
Yes.
Passes.
So it'll be that just a year from now. Just set it up to come in front of us again.
thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's go to Site Plan 2601, 34860, Utica Road, Birdies and Brew Facade Review. How you doing? Get your name and,
Jonathan Giuliano, 34860 Utica Road.
okay. I see you moved or something.
Yeah.
When I saw your address as Luxembourg, I know you built a house on Toulouse.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. If we can have background on this?
So this is a review for the facade. So if you recall, in the commercial general district, any building that's wanting to use materials that are not brick or stone have to get planning commission approval. So that is what this application is for. So the applicant is looking to have the brick on the bottom. You can see, sorry, I'm a little behind on I forgot I was running the PowerPoint as well. Brick on the bottom half, and then ephes on the top, raising the roof line a little bit as well. So I think we've done a couple of these last year, so this shouldn't be too unfamiliar in that we don't really have, again, review standards per se, but we do look at master plan alignment. We think this meets the intent of, the commercial area it's in. We look at the material compatibility with surroundings and a lot of other buildings in the area, including right next to the site, the strip mall on 15 Mile Road. Have also used ephes as an external building material. We did want to note the applicant is proposing to, sorry. Okay. Plans to paint or stain the brick, the colors to be determined, so perhaps the applicant can provide background on that. But painting brick color, which would be included in the staining in the ordinance does default to the building official and city planner to approve, so just something to note. Another thing to note is screening, so the commercial general district also requires mechanical equipment be screened, so hard to tell exactly from the drawing if it'll screen fully the equipment on top, but it does raise the roof line, so we do think it'll screen better than before, but we'd like to also, request additional details on that. But given all that, we do recommend approval conditioned upon the ability to demonstrate that the mechanical equipment will be screened from view, and just with the note of the building brick stain that's going to be determined later.
Any questions for planner?
Leave it to me again. I'm
Sarah
so
Nicky.
sorry. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Sarah, can you explain, is this just a reuse of the building?
So nothing externally is changing about the building. Some internal work's being done, but nothing structurally to the exterior. So site plans are required only required for a change of use when referred by the building official per our ordinance as well. Truthfully, when we have these reviews, we haven't typically done a site plan, so it's not something that we were considering when reviewing. And look into the site and see what the previous uses were and what the previously approved site plan is, and if the applicant does need to come back for some reason for a complete site plan, we can address that if that is determined.
Okay, so the use was not considered when the applicant came into the building?
No, I guess what I'm saying is that the need for a site plan,
Okay. Okay, thank you.
a full site plan.
Anybody else? I guess my thing is, of course, being the type of site plan that it is, being a bar type, and bringing in different people. Looked like there were 6 golf simulators.
Five, yeah.
So when you figure the number of people, I guess my main thing is how the change of use could affect things like parking, and that type of atmosphere, hours of operation. Considering what that use is now, I'm not sure exactly what it was. Is it more classrooms, or was it?
I'd have to look into our records to see what
Said it was a
we have on
nonprofit organization.
file.
Yeah, some nonprofit organization, so I don't know what they did or what, but, so I guess that's my concern, is just to make sure we got a building that's accommodates the use, because we do have ordinances for required parking and that, and I know I went by there Saturday, and the parking lot was full in the front, but I think it's from the arcade next door.
It's from Free Play, and their hours are limited. That was one of my main concerns, was parking.
Hold on, I want to keep with the right things here first. So our first thing's with Lauren, and then I want to get your input on things, so.
Yeah, I think parking would be the only use-specific standard that would trigger. There's not specific, restaurant or bar use standards that we would look at. But again, I apologize for not having looked at it before, but I haven't looked at the previous site plan approval. So I'd like to kind of see what the uses were previously, if there was any sort of restaurant or food type use previously.
There'll definitely be interior things too, like for seating, the requirements of the code and stuff for what's required, so.
It looks like it was a classroom setting for like people with disabilities and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that
So
means
what you're
that
coming up with?
Yeah, I'm looking up what the
That's what I thought it was. There was,
I mean, that means that they have like people in there in a classroom. There should be ample parking for something like that.
I think, you go in the back, it's kind of tight, but, all right, let's finish this part, and then we can get the petitioner involved. Anything else for Ms. Sayre? Okay, so does petitioner have any comments to add basically to what was presented?
As far as parking, that was one of my main concerns with buying that building. There's only, I want to say we counted 22 to 23 spots with the back and the front. So we have a few things going on there with free play has limited hours, but they tend to overflow into my parking lot. I've had a conversation with the owner that owns Vic's, that plaza, and Vic's has limited hours. And he actually said that he would provide parking for my business as overflow, and if we need any type of letter, then he would
That comes into shared parking agreements and things, and if that hinges on things, it's got to stay consistent, and that means you've got changes of ownership of places like that. Yeah, I know with the snow that was there, I couldn't tell in the back. I went back in the back, and it looks like maybe you could get 10 cars there. I don't know. I don't know what that front has, though, because it's,
Yeah, I know
you don't see
that.
any striping or anything.
No, I know that free play was kind of concerned when we were coming in because they use our parking. I don't know where they would go.
Lauren, for a bar, what would the requirement for parking be?
So for eating and drinking establishments, it's either 1 per 100 square feet or 1 per 2 people maximum occupancy, whichever is greater.
And which is, you figured it.
Well, I don't know the maximum occupancy. I could calculate the 100 square foot.
I
Might
believe
take
on
me
the
a sec.
plans it was 252.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
252
Two.
was written on the plans, yes.
How many employees will you have, Mr. Giuliano?
That doesn't make sense.
Most likely 5 to 6
Oh.
on staff and a busy night. Hopefully it's a busy night. There are 18 holes of indoor miniature golf in there too. So that is not just simulators.
That's cool.
So you'll have all ages coming?
Yes, yeah, kids, yeah.
So, I mean, what would you use to calculate that? If it's 1 for every 4, I mean, that would be, I would still say he would need 80, or no, 70, 65 spots.
That doesn't make sense.
I need to check. I would need to check again because honestly, when uses get mixed too, it also kind of gets weird because you wouldn't want. I think we dealt with that with sheets. You wouldn't want to just keep stacking them, but we don't have any other provision to like reduce based on shared space.
It might be just under 11,000 square feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
10-6.
10.6, yeah.
And how much of that is storage?
Hmm?
How much of that is storage?
Maybe between office and storage, 600 square feet,
Doesn't help.
maybe 800, and then there's 2 pretty big restrooms in there also.
What?
2 pretty big restaurants in there, or sorry, restrooms in there.
Yeah.
Lauren, I'm just a little concerned that that area is getting really congested with Big Boy now there. Mr. car wash going in there. It's a lot of traffic in all of those out things. You know, parking is going to be an issue and congestion is going to be an issue. But I guess we have to default back to what the ordinance says, right?
Regarding traffic or
Parking,
parking?
lighting, parking.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe some of that can be accomplished with shared parking. You know, maybe you use the use standards for mini golf instead of, but then it's kind of a weird when you're, again, mixing.
What is the capacity of the restaurant? I'm sorry. No. What is the capacity on the restaurant?
Of the bar area?
Yeah.
Of the bar area? Seats at the bar, 15. But then there will be tables throughout as far as like waiting areas for the simulators, for the miniature golf. We have a private party area. So there's not really like, we're not going to be serving food.
You're not helping us.
You're not serving food. It
No.
does mention in the report you'll be serving food and beverages, but no
We're-
food, so
we're
no
not-
kitchen.
Not serving food, no.
And I noticed you had like a vending machine with soft drinks.
We will have a fountain drink, yes.
Fountain drink,
Yeah.
okay. Will you allow people to bring food in with the parties?
That's for private parties, yes.
I'm going to ask you questions about the facade then.
Okay.
Giuliano, what color scheme are you thinking of?
So the facade's going to be a lighter color, just
Lighter?
Yeah.
And when you say stain, it's actually paint?
Yeah.
The bricks? Okay. And I walked around the building. It's very well maintained. It's
Yeah.
block all the way around.
it's-
What, are you going to paint the block
So-
itself?
So I actually wasn't aware that I had to have the color approved, and that is the color of the building that I was going to. That's the color that it would be. It's going.
The block color is going to be the
That's what
exterior
it is.
facade?
That blue is what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So the ephes material on the top is going to be like a light gray. So it's going to be a light and a dark.
Okay, contrast. Okay. On your demolition plan, you have loading doors, I guess, the roll-up doors, like 3 of them, I think?
There's one in the back and one in the alleyway. Yes.
Okay, so there's 2. And on your demo plan, you have the term clear-story windows?
Yes.
So I looked it up. So your windows are going to be a little bit above the
Yes.
eye level? Explain it.
In the back area, they're going to be about 14 feet up, so you can't look out and you can't.
But you
see
get the
it, but it's going to allow
light coming
natural
in.
light in. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird, that it's, the windows up there, it looks
Yeah.
like a 2-story. I go there and there's no 2-story.
That's a big building.
It doesn't look that big from.
No, not from the front. I was walking it and through the snow and all the way in the back. I ran into your painter.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's a nice, like he said, he offered for me to walk inside. I said, well, we're just doing the outside. But I was surprised how big it is.
Yeah.
Have you submitted anything with the paint type you're going to use? Because that's a big issue, is the
I
type
didn't. I like.
brick.
So the painter painted the outside earlier last year because I was planning on opening by now, and with the back and forth, some things had to get changed, and my architect took a lot longer than I had wanted to. So that's why I did the painting earlier when it was still nice out. But the plans kind of fell through. So I can submit a color sample of what I did, and if
The whole thing is because we don't want to see peeling.
Yeah.
And there are paints that do work for that now.
Yes.
Previously, we would have places, and the planning commission we'd see them all peeling and stuff, and then you got maintenance issues, and then it ruins the look of the whole place. And there are paints, especially there was a Sherwin-Williams that we had brought in to go through with the members on the planning commission, even to show them what's available, that there are things
Yeah.
available. So I know there's paint that can make it work. It's a matter of, are you going to get that paint?
So the existing building was kind of like the top part, the yellowish color all the way around. So that was already painted. So the only brick that I painted over was the front portion. That was just natural brick at one point. I know that all the paints were Sherwin-Williams paints that were used, but I could get the exact.
Yeah, as long as you checked ahead of time, I'm sure you
Yeah.
wouldn't want to do this twice.
No, I don't want to do anything twice.
Because it would be a code enforcement issue if it
Yeah.
does start peeling and that, so, to save yourself money,
Yeah.
just make sure.
Okay.
What will be your hours of operation?
I haven't decided 100%. There's some simulator places that open at 6 in the morning, but I would like to be a 10 to 10, maybe 10 to 11 on the weekends. The way that the building is set up, do you have a floor plan? So the way the building is set up, it has 3 sections. So my thought is, if it's allowed to have that middle section, would be locked down, and to have that be a 24/7 simulator area. So you would have key card access with a private door. Then I don't have to open at 6 in the morning. There are 24-hour simulators open right now, and they work really well. They're doing good. I don't know what the rules are for the city. I haven't looked into that yet, but I'm assuming I would have to come back here and talk to you.
Still 24-hour operation then. Yeah, there are rules for all that.
But the
I was
whole-
surprised that there's no kitchen area with a bar. Usually you got something for snacks. Every simulator I've been to, every one
Yeah.
of them.
And that was,
Looks like you got 5 seats at each one, and we've always had 4 guys at it and playing, and you drink and you're going to have snacks, or you can get a salad or some kind of food or something. So I was wondering, because there's really no kitchen here.
yeah, and that when we were laying everything out, we went back and forth, throwing in a kitchen and getting into everything, and we don't have a restaurant background. And I don't think I wanted to get into food, more entertainment than anything. So the thought of bringing in your own food or allowing people to do that, I know they do it at Great Shots over at 16 and Garfield. You can bring your own food in there. They'll even order it for you, whatever. So we would try and accommodate everybody as far as food.
Free Play does the same thing.
Replay does it, yeah.
Yeah.
Solid.
And it seems to work for them too.
Grab a pizza and show up.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
burden
a
off
ton
them.
of places to eat around there, that's for sure.
Get to the
Midways.
health department
Midways.
for
Yeah, Midway.
So is it similar to Great Shots? Because that parking lot's always full.
Oh,
Is that golf there? I don't know. What
no, it's just, it would be cornhole there, so just,
Okay.
and the way that everything is going to be set up here would be based off of tee times, so it's not just people showing up, and so even the miniature golf is set up in blocks, so you would book for a 20-minute block, and you can show up in that 20 minutes.
Reservations, more or less. Then.
So it's set up so people don't come there and they're waiting around.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
But you do have a lot of seats for bar area.
Yeah.
So So that bar area, I mean, hour-wise, what did you say the hours are of operation?
Right now, 10 to 10 during the week, and maybe on
Be
the
able to kick
weekend.
people out of the bar?
What's that?
You'll be able to kick people out of the bar
Yeah, I don't think people would be coming there.
like a regular bar?
Yeah,
37.
there's too many other bars around where they're gonna.
It's definitely a change of use. I mean, we can, if we just poke at just at the outside appearance, I think we can get a nice-looking building out of it. And then if we got to worry about the other
Parking later.
things, can we do this in a phased thing?
Yeah, so tonight on the agenda is the facade. We'll look into the parking and if any other approvals or variants or anything needs to be done with regard to meeting those requirements. And if that's the case, then they'll be back before the appropriate bodies.
I just kind of roughly counted up the seats. He's got 80 seats in there for people. You know, I might have missed some, added some, but. And if he has 80, what's normal, 2 per car? What do you guys plan?
Like what's permitted right now or what's
Would be required.
What would be required?
for like a eating and drinking place, one car or one spot per 2 people.
So that's 40 cars, 40 parking spots.
I mean, that plaza next door is almost always empty. It's got like 4 cars in it at a time, even during peak business hours. So the shared parking agreement probably is going to be a thing. And if that's the case, I don't see a problem either. I think this is going to be just semantics at the end of the day. I think we'll be okay.
It brings business for those other people, too.
Yeah, I mean, who's going to stop at Vic's and grab a coney and then run on over?
I tried to get him to stay open later for me. Didn't want to work.
Yeah, he's really changed his hours. But I think we just tackle this one step at a time. And if anybody wants to make a motion for this facade, if nobody else has any other comments.
I think the thing that Lauren put in there was the applicant should demonstrate to the planning the satisfaction that all mechanical equipment will be screened from view of the site as a result of the proposed facade modifications.
Is that line across, is that the existing
That's
line?
the existing building.
So you are building it up, it looks like at least 2 to 3 feet.
He has it drawn up as 3 feet on the main part where the unit is, and then 2 feet on the sides. That can be changed to 3 feet all the way around.
Yeah, once you get an angle,
Yeah.
though, you're not gonna, I don't even know if you'd see it from across the street.
How far out do you need to be standing? It's like, what's the ruling on that?
I don't know that there is a rule.
Right, like just off-site, like right-of-way,
Okay.
sidewalk.
Because if you're at Meyer,
That's what
think
I
you
would
can
say.
see.
Yeah, Myers, you think
Yeah.
for sure, though? I really don't think it ruins the look, though. This ruins the look, you see that there.
Yeah, yeah.
You're definitely doing a big thing covering that way, and I think you're going to make it much more appealing to everybody. And you really only see them from that direction. It's blocked by the shopping center to the north. But it does go back on both sides, or other equipment?
The ephes,
Yeah, the built-up area from existing.
it is not planned to go back on both, like all the way back to the, because the middle part of the building goes up 17 feet, and then the front is only 12 of the actual building. So
Okay, so it does have that step. And
it isn't planned to go along
Is
the
it going to be
side.
even around the sides to that existing further back?
That's not the plan, to go, like the wind wall to go around the sides, no.
I don't think you're going to see it. I think you're doing the blocking by what you're doing already,
Yeah.
so.
Because the free play building is 50.
Yeah, it's pretty big, and that's 2-story,
Yes, yeah.
yeah. So I think you'd be blocked in good with what you got there. If that's 3 feet, for sure.
I trust you. You feel it will be blocked, the mechanical equipment?
3 feet from there? John knows mechanical equipment.
Well, I'm looking at it, it looks like a 5-ton unit, which is only, 36, 42 inches tall, so
Yeah.
I can't tell by the curb, I can't see the curb, but I
6
think
inches
that,
isn't going to make a difference.
I think that's gonna cover it.
With the plaza in front of that, when they did it, it was 3 feet and they covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'll be okay, too.
Yeah, them units aren't as big as it looks up there.
I'm glad you took that into consideration.
Okay.
All right, anybody else? Okay, can we entertain a motion for just what we were presented as a facade review?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the exterior facade of the site plan, or not the site plan, excuse me. Oh, yeah, the site plan 26-01-34860 Utica Road.
And I will support that with paint requirements met.
Yes.
You're okay with that?
Yes, please amend my approval for that.
Can we also condition it on the approval, the administrative approval, that the rooftop equipment will be screened appropriately?
Would you put that to your motion?
Sure. We can add that in.
Okay. Do we have to state this, or do you want to get it officially stated?
No, I think that from what I could tell is it's the motion to approve the exterior facade with the condition that any paint requirements be met, and then any screening requirements be met as well. Does that
Yes.
summarize it well? Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
and I'll support that. Okay, roll call.
Just one question.
Hold on.
Melissa, didn't we say we're going to add something to every amendment last time?
So in the discussion last time, I think I mentioned that you can if you would like. I do think that probably for a facade review, it's probably not as necessary as it would be for a special approval land use or a site plan. But I do want to reiterate that obviously the applicant still has to comply with everything else in the ordinance.
I like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
Commissioner Barr.
Yes.
Commissioner Zarnecki.
Yes.
Commissioner Farina.
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Kyle. Commissioner Meyer.
Yes.
Commissioner Teller.
Yes.
Chairman Warnick.
Yes. That motion passes. Congratulations. At least we're going to get a nice building out of that, too, right away.
And entertainment. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Thank you very much.
Start bringing my golf clubs to work.
Yeah.
Thank
All right,
you.
thanks. Okay. Well, we got through that section 6, eh? Any unfinished business? Yes, we have a zoning ordinance. We're not done for the night.
Everyone's favorite part of the night. What are you talking about?
All right, Lauren, that's all your baby.
All right. Well, we're actually not going to start with the general provisions because we have to circle back to everyone's homework, which was accessory dwelling units. I know for a fact that Kathy did her homework, but no, I think everyone's had some time to think about it though, and if we want to reopen the discussion on how Planning Commission wants to approach accessory dwelling units, whether you want to remove the detached ones, or keep them in, any other changes to that section. So
It's this, right here.
ADUs. Yeah, it's right, yeah, there's one right in your pack.
Yeah.
I am actually opening the floor back to you.
All right. All right, bring it to the board. Anybody want to start with something?
I want to commend Kathy. That was great research, by the way.
Very good.
Very good. I also
Thank you.
wanted to say that none of these are small cities that have this in their,
Very true.
in,
There are bigger cities,
They're all
Lansing,
bigger
Grand
cities.
Rapids.
yes.
I want to, yeah, and I was curious because I respected the comments by Mr. Tuller at our last meeting, too. I mean, it does provide, affordability housing for us, but,
Well, does it? I want to touch on to rent one of those because it's going to cost this person to build that. You're not getting it cheap. It's not cheap housing. You want cheap housing, you get cottage housing.
So-
You get the tiny house.
I feel like, not even I feel like, I don't think there are any facts to support what you said, and I feel like it sounds like just like feelings
No,
about it.
I think because you take cost, you take what it's going to cost to build a building that has housing, meaning standard lighting. You got to have minimum lighting standards. There's things to live in. You got your plumbing, electrical, mechanical. You got all these things. So where is the savings for a rental? You're going to pay that same rental if you just go get an apartment somewhere or anywhere. It's like we don't have a shortage of them. Everybody thinks there's a shortage of housing. I don't see that there's a shortage for that. So there is an investment here. This doesn't just happen. Now, the attached, yes. That's completely different because you can take an existing, modify, and do that and offer that. I guess it's the detached I'm concerned with.
okay.
So I'm more concerned that the attached, I'm looking at it like, we got, 200 years of owning a house like or so. If somebody came into your neighbor's backyard and put up a structure that ends up being a living area, as opposed to a garage. Now, garage, you got these setbacks. A living area, you're using those garage setbacks, an accessory building. You're using those setbacks, and I bought my house to enjoy my backyard. That's the purpose of my investment, that I got an acre, that I have my backyard. If a neighbor came along and put a structure there, that all of a sudden the guy's living in it, he's got windows, he's looking out the windows, you're looking at him, he's right against 3 foot from your property line, because that's the biggest problem with these accessory buildings, is they become closer to the lot lines.
It's a privacy issue.
It's a privacy issue more than anything. And you have no say-so. So 48 years, and all of a sudden this neighbor's thinks that's a great idea and he can do that. That's why tiny homes came to this board before, cottage-style housing. And I kind of thought it was a good idea, but this board knocked it down and didn't want it in our community. And that's another thing, our community is small compared to all these other ones that have a lot more areas to do this and probably not affect other people as much.
Well, that's kind of like this whole thing that she had sent over with the pictures of the places that would be eligible for a detached ADU, and it's very, very few.
Very few.
So again, we're getting back into the realm of like telling people what they can do for the sake of telling them what they can do, when it's a very, very small amount of people that could even qualify to do it from the get-go. And I am not one to want to infringe on, even just basically like the rights of being able to do it. And, if your neighbor has a yard that is set up to be able to do it, it sucks. You've owned your house 48 years and you don't want him to have it, but I think that that's his right to be able to do so, especially if he meets all of the standards, which are, again, which we've gone through, are pretty rigorous. Like most places, this whole area, there's no ADUs here that you could do, no duplicate ADUs here. There's a couple spread here, a couple spread here. And that's it.
Yeah, I know, there's not much in ours, so to me, I think we shouldn't even allow it, because you're opening up a can of worms for people that really don't need that here. That's why I have no problem with attached. I have a problem with detached no matter what. Now, of course, I couldn't see much because our packets didn't have a good color scheme. There was no color scheme in our packet.
Yep.
Yeah.
All black and white, so we could not tell
Oh,
from
okay.
that.
Yeah, in
only
order
way
to
it
get
was
them
going
out on the
online and
on the Wednesdays, I have code enforcement sometimes print them here, so they might not be.
I would say make sure we get, when there's something like that really shows us. That didn't show me anything. But color, when I did see it online then finally,
Yeah.
yeah, that shows a lot when you got the color. So there's some things that we need to make sure that color gets done.
Okay.
May I share a quick anecdote? I stayed in one of these ADUs in California a few months ago. My friend built one detached in his yard in Long Beach, strictly for his parents, who live here and will travel out there for, they're older, so they're going to stay for 3-4 weeks at a time. And it's a lovely little apartment attached to a garage. It's nothing. There's no ever any chance of him renting it out because he's got kids and they share a backyard. It's strictly for that purpose is what it was built for.
How much property was it on?
Oh, small yard, a yard like this. In California, you don't have yards. It's pretty small.
Oh.
Yeah, he lost his lemon tree in the process. He was kind of bummed about that. But
I hear you say it
Considered
was
granny
attached.
flats.
so that's exactly what it was for. It was a garage and then a small apartment on the other side of it.
Detached ADU.
Yeah, bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, living room. I stayed in
Still
it. It was lovely.
detached.
It's detached, right?
not attached.
Well, I mean, wouldn't this also like be if I wanted to, put a apartment in my garage? That's a detached garage. Wouldn't that fall under detached ADU guidelines? So then, that's another thing entirely there, where it's like that wouldn't infringe on anything. That's so common for people to put a apartment above their garage for their teenager or their kids or whatever. And again, I don't think that we should have the right to be able to determine what is best for the very specific, or not even determine what's best, right? But to deny the specific families of Fraser the right to be able to do something
There's
like
also, it
this.
goes both ways. The infringement part, there's an infringing
Maybe
too.
they should have bought the house next door too if they didn't want them to build it.
So, you don't.
Or buy
they
a
didn't-
house.
They bought their house not having that. So all of a sudden,
do you
here we
think
have
the
the
zoning
power to
ordinance
just
is?
say.
2026,
it.
right? Life goes on. Things get built. There's roads that go places. It's all kinds of
It's easy to say.
buildings that have
Easy to
gone
say,
up.
But if you took, there's the problem, is we're talking among us here. We don't have the public involved with this.
Well,
You
right.
get the public involved, things are different, and
Well, we're not even
Now,
writing this officially.
this
We're
thing,
just
go
making
and-
a recommendation.
oh, yeah, and well, going in, let's get back though to the garage thing and that stuff. Because I know some houses, but they're attached, so that's different, but.
My house is.
The problem is you got to have underground, you got to get your plumbing, mechanical, electrical to have a house, a living area in there. The costs are, I can understand if it's a mother-in-law, mother staying or something. And that, let's face it, that's very temporary usually.
Usually, but you can also put conditions on a detached if you want. I mean, you could say family members only, I think. I don't know, I'm sure legal will have something
Well,
to
that's
say
the
about
thing,
that,
and you
but
got
yeah,
it, and we're
it's-
talking about.
That would be very hard.
I'm going to say. But
And we are talking about, you have to own the main dwelling,
correct.
so,
Randy?
yeah, go ahead, Frank.
You said we're not telling people what they can and they cannot do. I believe don't interrupt. I believe you're totally wrong. An ordinance is exactly that. It tells people what they can and they cannot do.
Let me rephrase that. You're right. We give people a proper procedure and process to follow, as well as rules and guidelines in which these are acceptable to do. Or we just say no. And I am not on the side of just saying no, especially when these guidelines are very much within reason as far as being able to do something like this. And
If there's so much in reason, why don't other small communities, Centerline, why don't they have it?
because they probably haven't done this yet. They probably don't have someone like me to advocate for it on the board.
I mean, all of the ADUs that she brought to us in great, they're all larger cities. All larger cities.
Population density wise, we're pretty similar to a lot of other larger cities. Just because we're small doesn't mean that our density is different. We've still got over 20,000 people in this little tiny area.
We have
No,
15,000.
15,000.
Or whatever. Yeah, still tens of thousands of people
We
in this
do have
small little
afforda-
area.
We do have affordable housing, as Randy said. We have a lot of rentals, a lot of apartments. That is all affordable housing.
Again, so you're getting really upset because you think that I want
No.
people to make these and like rent them out to all kinds of people.
No, I'm not upset.
I'm just trying to say that, like, if a dude has a bigger house and his mom's older and wants to live on the property with him in her own independent spot, and he meets the guidelines that he can do it, he should be able to do it.
And he gets a variance. That's what we got a zoning board for, if you want to go for something like that. But once you open it up, you got a lot of people that, sure, your best friend might be, yeah, you can trust him, he's going to do all this stuff the right way in that and not be a problem. But then others, that person, who's taking care of it? He is.
Code enforcement.
So it's all, well, that's the thing. So you don't know. So there's always something more, it seems to generate more. John, you had something, you kept going on with your light.
Do I need to turn it back on?
No, you're good,
Okay.
you're good.
Well, I get a lot of time now because I retired, so I spent a few hours on Google Earth looking at Fraser. And we don't have, because I was thinking, I said this to Frank too the other day, that I might think about this if, people had an acre or more lots. But we don't have many houses like that. I mean, there's a couple streets that do, but the majority of the city, we don't have the room to do it anyways. So it'd be kind of hard to open up and say, only these people in this street can do it, and these people in this street can do it. So, when we talked about it last month, I thought it might have been a good idea, but then once I started putting more effort into it, then I don't think I would be for it.
Nursing homes are like $7,000 to $10,000 a month. I don't know if you guys have priced them out, but they are very expensive. And I would argue with the whole cost of it that wouldn't the land and the property be worth more because you could do that, or if you did do that? It's not like you would sink 50 grand into a structure and it's worth $0. It's going to be worth 50 grand. It's going to increase your values.
No, I'm not going to disagree
It
with
might
that.
limit people that want it too, though. So you increase the value, but when you don't have the clientele
Sure.
coming to it. I mean, I had a former mayor here that came to me and wanted to put those cottage houses. He doesn't want a place to maintain as much, and these tiny homes fit that bill for what they want to do. They just want a place to eat, sleep, drink, and they go out and do everything. They like traveling and all other kinds of things, so.
A lot of communities don't allow those, though, for like minimum square footage issues because they want to create tax money for themselves.
But that's the thing with these things, they're almost the same type of thing. Do they meet the minimums?
Well, but it's an additional structure, so it would add square footage to the actual property itself. So like when you talk about overall, like, building space square footage on the property, if you built a, 800 square foot little structure and your house was 1,800, you would then have a
So
26.
that's the other problem is you're not.
Property.
You got too much building for the size of the parcel. But then again, that's where you can't have them. So, there's all kind of restrictions that, for each individual area, each size lot and subdivisions. And I like that homeowner associations can control them. That, there's a lot of homeowner associations that don't even allow them, even though they're allowed in there in the city.
That's true.
So I just think there's a lot of can of worms for a very limited thing, especially for Fraser. For 4 square miles, that's all built up, and not having the area that can do it in the proper way. So that's my input. Any further, any other comments?
To explain again what you're against.
be detached accessory dwelling units.
So in other words, you don't want anyone to build like a little apartment attached to their house?
No, not attached. These are detached, like way in the backyard. You have setbacks of only 10 feet maybe in the back and 3 maybe even on the side. And you've got neighbors with their yards back there where you're taking away from what they own for. They have their own little area. It's bad enough, I guess. People have to put fences up and do things like that to buffer from other ones. So it's a privacy issue as far as I'm concerned, though, because you're encroaching into an area that they never expected. I never would have expected anybody to have anything in my backyard as a neighbor. But that's me. I mean, you're going to have all different types. You've got a whole different, you got the old people that are different than maybe the young people. And the young people see things different ways. That we're not going to get rid of that. That's the kind of stuff that's out there, and some new technology, it grabs some people, and that's why it's a beautiful world. We all have different views, and we all have different ways, so.
Mr. Chair, is your property large enough to put a detached unit?
It's not listed in that thing,
that-
but I've got 2 half-acre lots.
You got 2 half-acre lots.
But nowadays, you're saying that you don't want somebody to take, like I have friends, and they're like my age, all right? And they live adjacent to their kids. They have their own spot next to it, and they come back and forth. And that's what you're saying, well, you can't build anything else. You don't want them to build another living area. Oh, you don't want them to build another living area. And I'm saying, but as people age, what's the choice? Put them in a nursing home because your neighbor doesn't want to see something? That isn't very charitable.
No, but that's why you can attach. You can attach to the existing house, or you can use an upper area and convert it. And it's much easier to do. And especially with older age, these are very temporary. So like you're talking, because lifespans and that, is it, especially keeping it in the family. Now all of a sudden, say your relative dies, now you want to get some revenue out of it, and so you put it up for rent.
Well, now that's a different matter. Why can't you differentiate between relatives? You may have a married child that is in trouble financially, not just an elderly person. So you could have all of that.
Happens all the time.
And but
are you going to take and spend all that money to build? It's basically a house you're building. You're not putting it in a garage. First off, it's got to have a full footing, and most garages only have a 24-inch rat wall. You can't build on that. You can't do all the things that I think are going through people's mind when you're talking about maybe changing the garage or doing something to that. It's too expensive to do it because now you got to create a structure that meets the building code. Not only because we got ordinances for setbacks, you got to meet the building code. Michigan building code isn't going to allow a lot of this stuff that I think is going through people's minds that I can do this to my garage. I can build this thing out of my garage and do. No, because you can't attach it to that. You attach it to that garage that doesn't have a frost-free footing. You could put a frost-free footing right attached to your garage. Doesn't matter. If that garage is not frost-free, it raises a frost-free footing right out of the ground. So you create more problems trying to do that. So now you have to put all that in to basically, you're probably spending more to build an area that works with an existing. So that's the thing. I don't think a lot of people consider all the, and again, I mean, a lot of people don't even think about these, but then there are those people that think, okay, I can just do this. I can add an apartment above my garage now. No, not if you don't have a frost-free footing. You can't do it. So the idea might sound right, but it's not. You can't give an okay to do that.
Why do we have to deny it completely? Why can't that be on a case-by-case basis?
Well, there are certain things that you could do, but that's why you got variances too then. So go for a zoning variance then to allow it in an area and then address that one individual. Why do everything and then have, somebody come in and then find out they can't do it in that area or in that building or do what they think they can do? So here you're talking, and I don't think everybody's taking that into consideration, that the expense might far out exceed. Here, you're going to take a garage that maybe you needed that for storage or for your things. But
Well, see, you live in a very quiet area, so you're looking at it one way. I live on Garfield.
I live on Garfield.
Okay.
I live in a very unquiet area.
Okay, yeah,
I almost got killed because of where I live, because of a drunk coming off the road, taking out my 4 vehicles when I was standing right next to it. I was missed by a couple inches. Tell me about Garfield. I'll tell you, I'm just glad to be here.
well, I have, there's a halfway house down the street, and I see these people living there. They keep everything they have on their back. They carry it with them so that it doesn't get stolen, You see them walking down, and then, of course, there's a park across the street. There's a lot of noise there. There's heavy traffic. There's a lot going on. And you say, well, you chose your house. Yeah, I did, for my own reasons. But I'm saying is that if you live in a quiet area, you're going to think of it differently than,
Everybody is.
You're
going to have everybody thinking different anyway. Go ahead. Trevor.
Well, I just wanted to kind of chime in because a lot of that last bit was, I understand what you're saying about the cost, but that is not for you to determine, and that's like disrespectful to just negate and say that people can't even look into this because you think it's too expensive.
Looking into it. Remember, I already said you can get a variance.
Well, but that's what I'm saying, though. But you said that one of the major reasons why you don't think it should be allowed is because it's too expensive, and you think it's too expensive.
No, I didn't say that.
That is what you said.
I'm just giving reasons of what.
Right, but that's
reasons
just
why.
your opinion, man. What your
I'm giving
definition of it
facts,
expensive
too.
is, and what my definition is, and what someone else's definition is, it's just it's semantics.
You can really stretch everything, I guess.
Well, yeah, and that shouldn't be used as a reason to make a determining decision on this.
Well, the biggest
saying
thing is
that
we
people
don't have
can't
the
afford it,
areas
like you're
here.
saying, Fraser doesn't have the money for it. Like that's not right.
Fraser doesn't have the money for it. You mean?
Well, that's what you're saying by saying that it's too expensive to be able to do it.
No, I didn't. There's a lot. I'm just giving different reasons of what, and it would be because how you're going to build to make it. You can't supersede the building code.
I'm not saying to supersede the building code. I'm just
So
saying that
basically,
you.
So all I'm doing is stating facts that
It's not a
maybe
fact.
people don't think about.
It's not.
Maybe it sounds real good, but
It's-
until they get into and start investigating and
It's-
look at things like the cost or converting
Still an
something.
opinion, though.
No, it's
Deciding
not an opinion.
if
Try
it
to
is-
convert a garage. Yeah,
What I'm
there's no-
saying,
we're not going to get any.
I'm not disagreeing that it's expensive. I'm saying that telling somebody that they shouldn't be able to do it because you think that they won't be able to afford it is kind of messed up. Because saying that it's too expensive for someone to do and we shouldn't even allow it because it's expensive, that's just your opinion. If somebody wants to spend $800,000 on a 4x4 little or 10x10 little shack and it costs them a fortune to do, that should be their prerogative, and that shouldn't be like a deciding factor or even a reason why not to do something like that.
Yeah, you're stretching it though. I'm not going at that for the money thing as much as.
You just spent 10 minutes talking about how expensive it is to do
I am
things.
trying to put facts out of things that people don't think about when they get these grandiose ideas that I'm going to do this, and then all of a sudden they find out they got to do it differently. So that's all. It just doesn't
That
mean
doesn't have to-
everybody. I'm not making it all encompassing.
That doesn't have to do with this, though.
It's not all encompassing. It does have to do with my privacy at my location.
Well, I mean, what's the difference of
So-
someone putting a picnic table at the back corner
Here
of their
you're
house
giving
and spending every day
the
there?
okay to do that without consideration of the neighbor. So here, you're not,
With this.
you're considering somebody, oh, they should be able to do this. But you're not taking the other person's side that, hey, I don't want somebody doing
Not
that.
their property.
That's right.
Exactly.
They bought that for where they're at.
And
they'll
they have
move.
jurisdiction on
So
their
they can
property.
move, yes.
If they want. Otherwise,
And that's probably what you're going to have more problems with, too. You might. Who knows? There's no exact right answer. You know? You can look at one side and the other. It's the way the
Right.
things work. There are two sides to everything. That's the biggest problem with our country.
that's not what we're.
know?
All we're getting at here, though, is it boils down to giving people the opportunity to do something that makes sense in a lot of communities and having a proper pathway with proper rules and regulations to do so. A lot of this sounds like it's, again, just based off of people can just put up whatever they want and however they want. Like, there's very clear defined ways that people can do it. There's processes. You have to apply for permits. You have to get these approvals.
You got to meet the codes. So
Exactly.
that's all. This is a fact thing, putting that out in front. So, who else here? That's there.
That was just me.
Oh, that's over there.
You did, it settled. I was just going to invite it to take a more, see, I lost my train of thought. It's been so long. But it's just what the planning commission would like to do. And, if you want to do a straw man vote on removing any references to detached, that's fine. Also, as alluded to before, planning commission's a recommending body. After this is done, we're going to bring it back. We're going to reconvene with the steering committee, which includes members of council and ZBA as well. But also, I invite, if this does not go the direction you would like, I'd invite you to go to council, who has the final authority, and, feel free to make your opinion known at the council meeting as well.
I agree.
So are
So,
you calling a vote? Is that what you're doing?
am I allowed to?
We can do that. Let's at least see where this board's going. Do we need an actual motion or just a yes, no?
Raise some hands, see what you want to do.
All right. So we're really, I think we're okay. Who's for attached dwelling units?
You're saying attached only?
Yes. I'm separating it out.
Oh.
It looks like everybody's for
Okay.
that.
I apologize. I was.
So,
That's the first one.
You're ready for the
so let's do the one who's for detached dwelling units. Okay. So you got the vote.
Yep, yeah, and so I can remove those references. I'll mention to the steering committee that it was removed. We'll mention to council, so they're aware. But again, invite you to go to the council meeting, and I will try to keep planning commission also informed on when it eventually hits council.
Okay. All right, because we could have gone on like that all night, I think. Trevor, nothing against that, because
No problem.
there's different things I think about too, like that.
of course,
So,
we're all here.
We're not,
in the
yeah.
Same community.
I know. That's what we want. Man, I wouldn't have been here all my life.
What's next on the
Yeah, okay.
Now, Article
Oh, so now
9,
we still got,
the actual one we need to do tonight.
Now we are on page 81,
oh boy.
general provisions. So we can go page by page, I think, is what we've been doing.
Yep.
No requirement for me to read everything.
Can I beg an indulgence? Can we take 5 minutes?
Yeah,
What page are we starting on?
81.
I guess that's up to the chair.
Yes.
I said yes, but.
Yes. We'll take a 5-minute break recess here.
Oh, she's letting everyone take a break.
discussion, general provisions. Lauren,
Any issues on page 81?
all right. Hold on. There's something written here, I just got to check. Oh, just in everybody's opinion, this has always been this. This is our same as our ordinance before, is what's an accessory building. It says it's intended for nothing but storage of accessory motor vehicles. As far as I'm concerned, a garage is for storage of all your stuff. Doesn't it?
Sometimes
isn't
an
that
extra
weird?
living room.
Your furniture. And a bed. So, I don't know if that's a real good definition, because the way you say after, proposed accessory use shall be verified by the city planner as truly accessory to the principal permitted use. So with a definition of only being allowed storage of accessory motor vehicles, that allows you to start writing people up because they're not storing just motor vehicles.
My whole neighbors don't even storage their cars.
No, there's no room for cars in it. But you got to have your lawnmower and.
Well, a lawnmower might be a motor vehicle.
Snowblower. Well, that's true. You could count that as a. We could fight that one. But that's the exact same definition from our old one. So you just moved it back into here, and it really.
No, I think there's
that one was
a
probably from 1959.
I think there's a misunderstanding. One sec. Because that's not the definition of an accessory. The definition's in the.
Oh, right. Is it in the?
And it doesn't reference motor. It's saying that for
Oh, I think it did say it.
accessory buildings for uses other than these home uses. So if there's another building in that district that was non-conforming or something, that it's intended for storage of accessory. I mean, we can take out the motor vehicles.
It's
I'm trying to remember.
probably not a big deal, but I don't want to give something for somebody to write up somebody on and then say it's right here, and your neighbor saw it, and all of a sudden he's ticked off at you for something, so he's going to say, you're not allowed all that stuff in your garage.
Well, I just do want to note, this is just for accessory buildings for uses other than single detached dwelling units, duplexes, and triplexes. So I know you referenced neighbor, so this is more of, the way I read it is more commercial than anything.
Okay.
So I think probably the intent behind the reference to motor vehicle
Oh,
is if a commercial
For a
building.
commercial, that makes sense.
Yes, so you could have an accessory building for motor vehicles all day long, but if all of a sudden there's an accessory building there, it's.
Yeah, I just was reading through and saw it, and I go, so my fault. Okay.
Should there be any
Good.
kind of provisions for quadplexes at all? Does that need to be added in, considering that's still kind of falls into the, single duplexes, triplexes? Or do we need, I don't know if we need that or not.
We don't actually have quadplexes in here. It's 4 units and above. It starts on multi-unit.
Interesting. Okay.
Basically, triplex is new, because it was really just,
Triplex
Over
is a new
terminology.
consideration. Yep.
yeah,
Interesting.
okay.
For the longest time, just randomness, but so I'm in mortgages, I do mortgages. Anything like, single, duplex, triplex, or quadplex is all pretty standardized, pretty easy, run-of-the-mill, conventional you can qualify for. And fiveplex is where it actually rolls into the whole multi-unit apartment type thing. So that's why it's just interesting that it's different, considering your conventional run-of-the-mill mortgage will run a quadplex all day with nothing weird with it, but the weirdness starts at 5.
That's weird, yeah.
Just weird.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Okay. 81, we're good?
Good.
82.
Lauren, I asked you about subsection 2 on 82, C2, and I asked to to not, that gazebos shall be counted towards impervious surfaces. The reason I ask that is because they have a roof that's shedding water and is therefore impervious. It sheds the water outward.
But if it's above the ground, groundwater can penetrate through what's underneath.
Well, I guess the gazebos I've seen have a cement base to them.
There's all different types. There's deck gazebos, and you can't, that's where I'm at the next page with decks, and not counting decks, because decks aren't an impervious surface. Especially when your definition of a deck is same 18 inches or above the ground, and you can, water goes right through the decks. They're not waterproof. You can make them waterproof, but they're not. So water penetrates in the ground underneath a deck. So you can't count a deck as an impervious surface.
No. Okay.
You can, just certain ones, but that is probably 2% of all the decks out there.
Lauren, thank you for your answer. I'm done with my questions, so
Sorry, what was that?
thank you for your answer.
So you're good with leaving? Okay. So before we jump into the decks it's on the next page, you
Yeah.
said? Is there anything else on this page that anyone
Anyone
has
else?
concerns? Okay. Let's see. Does anyone have any objections to excluding decks in the impervious surface?
What?
No, 'cause
Excluding
water
a
should be
deck.
able-
Or does anyone have any objections to Randy's saying that they shouldn't count towards the impervious surface
It's
maximums?
a deck, yeah.
I agree.
This is out. So 3 is going to be out, right?
3 is going to be.
Well, porches and patios depends if they're
No.
concrete or
Decks are going to be out, I'm sorry.
decks.
Decks are going to be counted. Decks are not going to be counted. I'm confused.
Not going to be.
Not-
Decks are not going to be counted towards impervious surfaces. Porches and patios still are.
Just like second-story decks don't count. They work the same way. A second-story deck is the same as a first-story deck. Water goes through it. So we're being just more consistent by saying all decks are.
Yeah, I could probably take out the second story since it's repetitive into the.
It's just a tall deck.
Yeah, that's what it is.
No, a paver deck, that's a pervious.
It wouldn't meet our definition
Oh,
of a
that
deck
patio, yeah.
because it wouldn't be 18 inches, right?
Right. By definition, a deck is higher than 18 inches.
That's the way it notes in the definition.
Yeah.
No, I'm asking about pervious or impervious.
Oh, with pavers?
Is where the grout lines are,
Yeah, they're pervious.
yeah.
That's what I would think. If they're poured concrete, that's different. But pavers,
Lucky I had my pool before this came in.
they're definitely pervious, the joints.
Depends how close you got them.
It depends.
You got those like
Yeah,
massive
then you
ones that are
caulk 'em.
really thick too. When they actually go together, they're
Interlock or-
they're pretty. They're pretty.
Yeah.
I
So it
think
would
that-
be, it's subject to,
I would even just say that like if it's a patio, like even with it, like you're not going to see much soak down as much as you're going to see it pool up. Even
Right.
I even think about like brick driveways and stuff. You see those pool up too.
oh, yeah.
So
You'll still get pools of water.
yeah. So
That's true.
So I think we cover it good with decks. Okay, we're done with that one?
Tell me.
Well, 80, I still got 83, the security fencing for pools and that.
Sure.
Because there are other things that are by the building code. So you can't say that you have to have a security fence around a pool that's 24 inches or more, holds 24 inches or more, because the building code lets you get past the security fencing by just having a 4-foot wall and a ladder that folds up or locks so where a kid can't go up in it. So I just want this number 2 to match the building code. Lockable safety covers, power pool covers, 4-foot walls, fold-up lockable stairs. Those are all exceptions in the building code for fencing. So you can't tell everybody you got to have security fencing and then they meet the building code. So I don't know how you handle that.
I think you would just,
I would just say that the fence, if you read the thing, they were really careful about not calling things security fencing. It's the barrier requirements for pools. So if you follow the barrier requirements for pools, you might need this fencing, but there's ways around it.
yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, so you just take out, if the 24 inches is still what triggers it, right?
Right.
Of water.
Yeah.
Shall provide a barrier.
That meets
in
the building
accordance with
code.
the building, yeah.
Yes. That's all I'd put. Okay, we good there? See, the next one, utility structures, that's where I talked about that at the very beginning when we first started talking about this. You got a setback of 5 feet for residential, for like an air conditioner unit or generators, and you've got houses here that are only 3 foot from the lot line, and they've got to put it's just the way a generator, they're putting it there. They're so quiet now compared to what they were back in the old days. It was a quiet issue. So I think we had 3 feet before. I mean, that's what we kind of enforced before. It wasn't a big thing, but now with 5 feet, when you've got a whole subdivision, Frank's subdivision has 13-foot total, 3 on one side, 10 on the other, you could do. And there's a house and 2 houses in Frank's sub that are 3 foot on the same side. So you only got 6 foot between the 2 houses without the overhangs. And that's a big problem. And I mean, how do you control these? I know if you read this, you talk about an interior constructive masonry materials to buffer it. I don't know. This one I would look at anybody else's, what they think about it, because you really have to understand it. You have to know what people are putting there, and then now you've stopped them from putting it, and they maybe can't put it in their backyard because they've got other issues there or something that's running through that stops them from putting it there, so they use the side property. If it's affecting somebody else's that has their windows open, that's big. And that's where this whole thing probably came to the 5 feet. But this is not in Fraser's original code. This is something you pulled from your own, from a code, master code maybe somewhere or something. But I don't think 5 feet.
I don't have a latent master code.
Whatever these things came from. This isn't like from our old thing. It's a nice thing to address, but I think it's going to be tough to address when you got these houses that are 3 foot to the lot line, and now you're telling them they can't even put a thing. Now, if they can buffer it, but the
3 feet
problem
on
is,
each side, though? Is it where you're saying 3 feet on the sides?
they've got 3 foot from the house to the property line.
On the sides, not the
You have
rear.
3 foot, you probably shouldn't put a generator
Sometimes,
right there.
no, you can't block your way. No, you're right with that. But there's some issues that when you look at putting once you put one there, you're still less than 5 to the lot line. That's what all I'm getting at, is that, say you put one, you can't put it right against the house. You got to give yourself, I don't know what maybe a air conditioning unit is from the house.
I mean, the intent of this is to limit people putting them on the side and require them to put them in the rear to mitigate potential impacts
The only
to the
problem
neighbor
is that they're
properties.
already we've got everything existing already. So it's not, that's the issue I'm going at, is that, are you going to go back, or is this pre-existing?
Well, I'm not going to go back and tell people to move their 10-year-old generator.
So that's pre-existing condition. That's fine, because now you can develop it differently, too. And as long as they know that ahead of time. You couldn't develop this way because they'd argue that one right away, because that means you got to have a good 10-foot setback on the side of the house to put something there. Well, 8 feet. You could probably make it with 8 feet to have a 5-foot setback.
And I think that is fair because, these are large mechanical,
Yeah,
it
in a
might
new
be an
house.
AC unit, it might be.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, just so you know, in the past, it was because they were so noisy. That's when I've looked at from a lot of different municipalities, and it was all generated because of the noisiness of air conditioning units and generators. They're not as noisy as they used to be. Generators just go on once every so long to check their stuff. If it's an emergency, who cares? The neighbors don't care that you got a generator running. Everybody is. Everybody's
Sure,
running.
but I still think just having a more of a buffer is nice.
Yeah. Oh, I have no problem with that, with a buffer. As long as you allow it within a distance that they can still get a buffer in there. And still, see, the biggest problem, they're pre-existing. You're not going to be able to walk around that side of the house if you put it in there anyway. So
Which isn't great.
so let's just leave it as it's pre-existing is going to be okay. You're not going back after somebody. I just don't want code enforcement going back at somebody because a neighbor's now complaining after 20 years. They see this and they say, nope, I'm going to get this, because they hate each other's guts, and all of a sudden they're doing it. So.
Yeah, so it's like any other thing. If it's legally non-conforming, unless you expand or increase that non-conformity, it's just like signage that we see and things of that nature.
So if they just replace it because the unit's bad,
You wouldn't be expanding the non-conformity.
then we're good.
Increasing, I should say.
Okay, we're good.
And there's an error in the non-residential right under the residential. It just says feet. I believe that's actually just intended to be same as district as well. So if there's a non-residential use in a residential, or if there's a non-residential use, any equipment would have to meet the principal setbacks.
So it'd be the same as district?
Yep, I apologize for that.
Okay.
So the only bottom there, the impervious surface, again, of a utility structure. If it's placed above grade on a deck, it wouldn't count.
Is that up to building code? Can you place mechanical?
Oh, yeah.
All the time?
You can place a generator on a deck that's meets code. I've seen it, and it's
I've done it. Put 'em in.
It's a new one, all right. Structure shall be included. Do you want me to add a at grade?
that would be, and that's the way I wrote it.
At grade.
Useless unless if it's placed above grade, because water can go underneath it. So yeah, at grade. If you just put at grade, you're covered. Because then people put a pad of concrete, so it should count. So just put at grade.
Okay.
That covers it.
All right, 84.
We can get past 84, then I'm probably all set, but 84 I'm not happy with at all.
Is it because of the portable storage units?
Portable storage units, 14 days is not enough.
I agree.
You've got homes that are fire restoration, water damage, and I got houses I've seen that have them for a year because they have to until the work's done. They're restoring this house. So how do you treat those when, you know, I really think in 14 days, they haven't even started construction on a house. I guarantee it, if it's remodeling or a fire damage or water damage. So the 14-day thing that don't work. And then extensions, and only one extension of 14 days. Now you're 28 days, they probably still haven't gotten the materials in.
I mean,
Now
it's a
you're
slippery slope,
making
right?
them-
Because then if you allow it for, up to a year, you're going to get people with, those pods in their driveway for a year.
Now, that's why you got to put them beyond the front building line.
But do you really want people also with, portable storage units in their backyard for years?
Not years, but
Well, you have to put some type of time.
you got to put something, but 14 days and it's just not, it doesn't give people enough to do the work for the house. And I don't know, is there a charge is there any kind of charge for this to have one of these for that period of time? Do you have a permit required?
I don't.
No, is there a
But I'm
permit
sure
required?
the container
Because these are
company does.
people that are suffering. They went through a damaged thing. Should they really have to pay?
So we
They're
could,
trying to fix their house back up from a
instead of
disaster.
arguing situation, we could take from 3D, the additional time may be granted by the building manager, then it's at the building manager's discretion on what the length of that would be.
Yes.
But we would
Once
keep the
they
initial.
submit their permits maybe and see what the amount of work is.
The initial would be 14 days still, though, with the intent of it being 4 people moving, and then the extension. Would you want to up the 14 initial?
No, no matter what, 14 days wouldn't work for somebody that's doing, if they're doing it for that reason. Now, if they're remodeling in there, they need to get that whole area cleared out. They need that time. Why should they have to fight you, when if they can show there's an emergency situation or there's a remodel going on, maybe then there's a way to allow it for the length of the remodel. I'm not saying they take a year all the time, but I've seen them take a year. But
I mean, so how this.
basic one, these people want their money. The remodelers want their money. So they're going to try to get this thing done, but it's going to take a couple months no matter what.
So, I mean, how this would work in principle, because we don't have a temporary portable storage unit permit, is, code enforcement sees that, a storage unit has been in someone's yard. They, start the calendar. 14 days later, they might give them a notice, hey, we see this, in 14 days, you're going to need to come in, request an extension from the building manager. So they'd get that notice. They come in, they don't, but then they could extend for the duration that they, request and is approved by the building manager.
Yeah, if they can do something.
So that's what it would be in actual, implementation. The 14 days just gives code enforcement something to actually go off of. Again, if you would like to extend it to 21 or 28, that's...
Yeah, I don't know. It's just knowing you're talking code enforcement again. I've been involved with code enforcement way too long. You get a neighbor complaining about something, now they got to go there and they've got to say, well, it's right in our thing here. So it works even further when it comes to a neighbor complaint for code enforcement. So as long as there's a way and they can just,
Well, if you can write an ordinance that has no problems, you can
I
have
know,
my job.
no matter what, but I go with Renee.
Well, couldn't we have a line item if, like Randy has a problem with 14 days, but you said in case of someone moving, couldn't you put a line item? To me, it's like a person that has one of these giant recreation, like trailers or that. Someplace in here, It's on page 96, vehicle parking requirements. It doesn't, like, in that section, and I know I'm going ahead, but it doesn't say how long you're allowed. So couldn't we do just, okay, couldn't we just do a line that says,
Like the fire truck.
if you have the portable storage unit for someone who's moving, you're allowed 14 days, and if you need an extent, then
I think it would get a little fuzzy, and then everyone would say, "I'm not moving." I'm, to get longer, and yeah, I don't know. I think that might get a little fuzzy because people will just kind of lie to say whichever one gets some more time.
oh, okay.
The writing says one 14-day extension and may be granted by the building manager.
Well, we're switching that for additional time. Additional time. We'll probably just say additional time, not placement, but may be granted by the building manager.
So you're not going to limit 2B, correct?
No, it's basically we'll take 3D and put it where 2B is.
There you go. Okay, John, do you have something?
So, some background on this. It's there was a moratorium on shipping containers in residential districts last year. Actually, I don't know if it
It was extended.
was extended. So this ordinance is to address that, and essentially, it's limiting permanent portable storage units in residential districts. So there are people who wanted to convert them into kind of she sheds or bars, things like that. But in regulating those from just someone using it as a junk one was kind of a complex endeavor, and thought it would be more harmonious with the neighborhood to just outright prohibit permanent portable storage units. So
They do build houses out of them now.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not the problem, though.
Oh, I know. All right. I think that covers it, though, with doing that, changing that around.
Above ground storage tanks or antennas? Hearing none. Going to page 85. We're still talking about antennas most of this time. Still no antenna concerns?
Told you I'm done after that page.
Okay. Page 86 starts on animals, building grades, building materials.
It says, except that non-vicious dogs. What's considered a non-vicious dog? To me, I'm scared to death of any dog. Doesn't matter what size it is. So that's it's a vicious dog for me. You know what I mean? So
It might be something in the regulatory ordinance, Ms. Meyer, so something may be deemed vicious that might be defined in the regulatory ordinance.
Okay.
Take a look.
okay.
But I agree on face value, I don't like it either.
It's not that I don't like dogs. They just
Well, no, actually, I like
know what I
dogs.
mean?
I just don't like the it's a little subjective, you're right, so.
Yes, very subjective,
So is that, what are you going to do to run?
The regulatory ordinance uses dangerous dog rather than vicious or non-vicious, so, now you're getting into my prosecution one.
Just
So a dangerous
reading.
dog is like someone that's bit someone or something and things of that nature, so.
Okay.
So maybe perhaps put dogs not deemed dangerous or non-dangerous dogs or something like that. Or just, we can revisit based on regulatory ordinance stuff.
No.
Okay. We will review the regulatory and just make sure it mirrors it. It might just be non-dangerous, as that's what it said, but.
Okay.
At least that's more of a defined term of, a dog that's previously bit someone.
Okay. Okay.
Anything else on building grades or building schedule of regulations? The building schedule of regulations is intended so that no more people have to come here to get facade reviews.
Stopping our flow of business here.
I am, or this is? Yes, Commissioner.
I just have a typo.
Yes.
Under stucco, it should say synthetic, and it should say EIFS.
Ah,
Good catch.
thank you. Okay, I'm moving on to 87. This is finishing off the building schedule regs. It also, we've got clear vision area, so this is also where we talked about this with the residential fences, which I believe will be on the agenda for February next week. So if that is also burning, council. It's getting late. It's getting late. It's all good. Yeah, so it'll be on the February 12th agenda, is my understanding. So if someone's really interested in that, please feel free to attend. But yes, we have the driveway and also street clear vision separate. We also have fences in here, so this is a divergence from the previous one, which has fences in the regulatory code. So that's why it's council, but now we're moving it into zoning. Moving on, continuing on fences to page 88. Any concerns?
At the end of, on page 88, under construction, 1B, you have a 3 that's kind of hanging out there at the end. At the end of the sentence.
Okay.
Just says 3.
There's nothing.
My bad, I'll delete that. I know someone has a comment. I think there was a comment received about requiring gates to open inward.
Inward, yeah, me.
So I have that note.
Yeah, you told me.
Okay. Frontage, general exceptions. No one has anything else on that or for the rest of the fences. Okay. 89, performance standards. 90, continuous performance standards.
Catch Renee before she hits it there, but the 9A, the last word in the first line, should be which.
That's it the first time. Okay.
Activity with uses.
Are you sure?
You get it?
Are you sure? That's supposed to be, I think, any firm, corporation, or other legal entity operating a business of conducting an activity with uses, stores, or which use?
Which uses stores
Uses,
or
not
generates.
uses, which.
It's not uses. You would do it with the with. You could say uses in stores. but
Which
uses
uses,
stores as a
or
verb.
which uses, okay, all right.
Yeah, it's
Does
all
this need to be
verbs.
or? I think it should be or, right? It should be an or.
You were using it as a verb, correct? Your use?
Yes, I am actually questioning, sorry, the businesses of conducting, if it should be or.
What I was reading through it, but maybe I'm crazy.
I kind of think it's an or too. Yep. Okay, renewable energy systems.
Yeah, part B, the B one shows which there with the same kind of wording.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, we were, sorry, we were just talking about the business of conducting. I think it's just business or conducting, which is also mirrored in that one too, so we changed that as well. Any comments on wells, systems?
Is there a way to just dig a well? Like, can I just apply, call Miss Dig and dig a well and get off
Water.
this awful city expensive water thing?
You're gonna have to take it up with the Macomb County Health Department.
Oh, so it's, I can't just, nothing with the city, that's county?
Could do it and have water to water your grass
Oh, that is true.
and not have to pay.
What about,
Wait a minute. City told me I couldn't have it. 'Cause I wanted to
Okay,
put
I'm
in a
not
well.
saying, I'm not here no more for that.
like $100
As
bucks
long
a
as you
month?
have your well for your water, I mean, you use city water for everything else.
Well, systems
we
looks
made it
good.
through.
Thank you.
So that's exciting.
Told you.
But this is actually the last section that we discussed going through this thoroughly. So the next steps, again, bringing this and the changes Planning Commission and the attorney's office had before the steering committee getting their sign off on that final version. I'll bring it back to Planning Commission for a recommendation. I'll also highlight if steering committee did change anything. I don't think there'd be anything major, but if there is something, we can discuss that too. But at that time in April, I think we would also notice for the public hearing, because there's a required public hearing at Planning Commission, and then recommendation. So if that direction is good with the Planning Commission, that is the plan.
Need any formal thing? Or we wait till you bring the,
No formal thing. I just wanted to make sure that no one was strongly objecting to that plan and timeline. Oh, an objection.
No.
Okay.
No. I just wanted to add something, because on page 180, it mentions under sections 32, 165, non-conforming use of structures and land. It states to see sections 32, 205, and 32-206, but that wasn't in the packet. So that's all I wanted to mention, that it wasn't included in this, so.
Yeah, well, so at the end of this, everything's shifting around.
Oh.
The attorneys cut a lot of my ordinance. So a lot of sections will be changing, so we'll have to redo all those
Okay,
cross-references
no,
regardless.
I just wanted,
No, and I appreciate everyone's thoroughness and due diligence.
okay, we can move along, right? Well set? Public communication on non-agenda items, no public, okay. Monthly report. January.
I think the only new things you saw tonight, I don't think I have any other updates unless anyone has any questions on any of the ongoing projects. Happy to answer, do my best.
Mister has started construction.
Mr. Car Wash?
Oh, yeah, they put up a sign and
Yep,
fenced
And
it
they
off.
were- and they were grading, so.
yep.
And they got their formal extension and everything. Or they didn't need
They didn't
one.
need an extension.
Oh, they had to meet it by this coming March.
They already started work on towards
so
it, so
we're good.
it was good.
Good. Okay, zoning board of Board of Appeals member liaison.
I am happy to report that we saved the city $700 because we had no business. We didn't have a meeting this week.
Right.
And we are not going to have a meeting next month because it would be for appointment of officers or election of officers. And the city council doesn't meet until after our meeting, so unless some business comes in.
So yours will be late, too. All right, commissioners' comments and items of interest. Let's just start real quick with Trevor.
I got nothing.
Work our way down. Frank?
I received a letter, and I sent it on to us and to Lauren. This is for training for citizen planner. And when I came on the boards, you were allowed to be put on without this, but you had to take this course before you could be reappointed. And I asked Randy, I said, is that still in effect? He said he never knew it was in effect. Well, they enforced it with me. I guess they thought I couldn't pass, but anyway, they're looking at if the city has money to send newer people who have not taken this course.
That's just the one-day one. So
So this is actually, this was I think a 7-week commitment, but
that's the Michigan State extension.
technically the deadline did pass. I tried to reach out. Only one member between planning and zoning indicated interest, but then had to back out because of a conflict on one of the days. But there was funding there's through a grant for one person per community. I'm not sure if we could call and ask. It starts February 10th, so it starts next week on Tuesday. And then it's the following 7 Tuesdays. We might be able to call and ask if someone is still interested, if we can do a late registration. But please let me know right now.
Yeah, and Elaine was open to the idea of budgeting for this if people wanted to do it next year. You just have to ask and want it to be put in during the budget process. Money for these trainings if it looks like 3 people want to go or something,
And I will say it is a really good program. The MSU Extension does a great job.
Bob Logan took it.
Commissioner Meyer recently, I think, is the most recent person who took it.
I would say at least take it once if you haven't taken, but that's.
Yep, they do a really good job.
So you did have a person of interest? You did?
Miss Stasic was interested, but she's going to be gone the first day, so they were kind of require attendance throughout. So.
Okay, Frank, that was it?
One other thing, the Knights of Columbus just had a Polish dinner to help ALS, and it was just phenomenal. They did a great job, and I want to call them out for it. It was really well done, and they made a lot of money for ALS, which is a tough disease. Thank you.
Thanks, Frank. John? Renee?
I'm all set.
Joanne?
I'm all set.
Kathy?
I'm okay.
Anybody over there?
I won't be here in March. You'll have Jennifer for that meeting. I have another obligation. And I do have these applications for the Construction Board of Appeals. If anyone wants one, before you leave, grab that from me. That's it.
Nobody else? Okay, I'll consider adjournment.
To adjourn.
I'll second. Oh,
Okay, too late. We already adjourned without you.
okay.
I think we do need to take a vote on that.
Oh, we do.
Favor?
Yeah, that's right. All in favor?
Damn, I was out of here.
Aye.
Aye.
Nay. Sorry, guys.
Did you bring your pillow?
We're hanging out for a while.
I want these
No, we've got-
dwelling units.